It's exciting. I'm hoping for something very substantial in the garden shaft. This is where the treasure hunt actually begins.
Buried for centuries, now exposed. Oak Island just erupted with the most shocking twist in its 200-year mystery. Rick Lagina's crew uncovers a rusted, forgotten machine. But when its gears are pried open, history shatters. What looks like junk suddenly unleashes a blinding fortune. Over $500 million in hidden gold. Instantly, the island changes forever. Whispers of curses, betrayal, and danger swirl through the air. Where did this staggering treasure come from? Who buried it so deep beneath Oak Island's soil? And more importantly, what deadly secret was meant to protect it? This discovery doesn't just make history, it ignites war. Rivals circle like vultures. Ancient legends resurface, and the Laginas face a terrifying choice: protect the gold or risk losing everything. Because on Oak Island, treasure never comes without consequences. The hunt is no longer about discovery, it's about survival. Subscribe now, because this story is only beginning, and the next revelation could change everything you thought you knew about Oak Island. The year was 2019, a season that would forever stand out in the long and difficult history of Oak Island. What began as another routine dig suddenly shifted into something extraordinary. Deep beneath the island's soil, Rick Lagina and his team uncovered what no one could have anticipated: $500 million worth of gold concealed within the remnants of an old, rusted machine. For Rick, this was not merely a discovery, it was a defining moment in his lifelong pursuit. The weight of the treasure was staggering, but so too was the burden of choice. This was about more than gold. It was about safeguarding his reputation, protecting the fragile unity of his crew, and preserving the decades of sacrifice that had brought him to this point. Yet, the risks soon revealed themselves to be greater than the reward. If Rick failed to secure the find, outsiders could lay claim to it. Rivals would rise, and the trust of his crew, already stretched thin from years of near misses, could shatter. Worst of all, failure threatened to reduce his legacy to nothing more than another cautionary tale of Oak Island's curse. The pressure mounted with every passing hour. Equipment groaned under the strain. The ground threatened collapse, and Rick knew he was gambling not only with fortune, but with loyalty and history itself. Still, the lure of $500 million in gold was undeniable. Such a discovery could rewrite Oak Island's legend and confirm once and for all that the mystery was real. But that same treasure carried the power to destroy everything if handled recklessly. And then came the most unsettling realization of all. What if the gold was never meant to be found? Clues unearthed alongside the treasure hinted at a deeper mystery, one that suggested the fortune was part of something far older and far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. As if the stakes weren't already sky high, the year 2020 introduced a new twist that no one had foreseen. To deal with the overwhelming challenge of recovering $500 million in gold, Rick Lagina made the bold decision to bring in advanced mining technology, the kind of equipment rarely used outside major industrial projects. Massive drills, reinforced steel cages, and high-powered excavation rigs were hauled onto Oak Island, promising speed, efficiency, and a safer path to the treasure. At first, the move seemed like the perfect solution. The technology could cut through layers of earth and rock that would have taken the crew months to clear by hand. It promised precision, stability, and the chance to finally unearth the gold without the constant fear of collapse. But as with everything on Oak Island, there was a price. the machinery carried risks of its own. One wrong calibration, one slip in the process, and the treasure could be crushed, buried deeper, or even lost forever. The island's unstable ground groaned under the weight of these machines, as if the land itself was resisting their intrusion. And then came the disagreements. Some members of the team stood firmly behind Rick's decision, convinced that technology was the only way forward. Others, however, warned that relying on machines could backfire, that Oak Island's secrets were meant to be uncovered with patience, not brute force. Tensions began to simmer. Trust, already fragile, was tested once more, as loyalties divided between tradition and innovation. What had started as a thrilling discovery now became a battleground of ideas. Was Rick pushing too far, too fast, or was this the only chance they would ever have to secure the treasure before outsiders took notice? And just as the debate reached its breaking point, the island itself responded in the most unexpected way, an event that would shake both the machinery and the men operating it, proving once again that Oak Island never gives up its secrets easily. The year was 2021, and Oak Island had already witnessed decades of near misses, heartbreak, and the relentless pursuit of a mystery that had eluded countless treasure hunters before him. Yet nothing could have prepared Rick Lagina for what he was about to witness. After months of painstaking excavation, the combined effort of his crew, and the implementation of advanced mining technology, Rick stood on the precipice of history. It began with a faint glint beneath the rubble, almost imperceptible at first. As the machinery hummed and the team worked in tense silence, the faint sparkle gradually became a dazzling gleam. Rick leaned closer, heart pounding, as the outline of gold began to emerge from the depths. And then finally, it revealed itself, a staggering fortune worth $500 million, hidden for centuries, waiting to be claimed. The emotional impact was immediate and overwhelming. Shock froze him in place for a moment, as if the magnitude of what lay before him was too immense to process. Then relief flooded through him, a release of the years of tension, the countless hours of digging, the near-constant fear of failure. And alongside it all, triumph surged like a tidal wave. Rick had done it. Against all odds, against history itself, he had unearthed the treasure that had been whispered about in legends and speculated over by historians and dreamers alike. But the moment was more than just financial success. It was a confirmation of a lifelong pursuit, a vindication of perseverance, and a testament to the loyalty and hard work of his team. Each man and woman who had toiled alongside him shared in that moment, their exhaustion replaced by exhilaration, their doubts replaced by awe. Cameras captured every expression, but even the lens could not fully convey the scale of the human emotion present. Shock, relief, joy, disbelief, and pride all mingling in a single, unforgettable instant. Yet even in the triumph, the tension remained palpable. Rick realized the enormity of what he now faced. This was no longer just a treasure hunt. It was a turning point that would alter lives, shift history, and attract attention from all corners of the world. Securing, cataloging, and protecting $500 million worth of gold was a challenge unlike any other, and one misstep could undo the culmination of decades of effort. And still, for a few precious moments, Rick allowed himself to simply absorb the significance of the discovery. Every hardship, every setback, every sleepless night had led to this moment. The audience, having followed the story from its earliest hints, now shared in the payoff. It was a peak emotional moment. the kind that validates every risk, every sacrifice, and every dream of uncovering something thought impossible. But as Rick and his team celebrated, a subtle, chilling hint appeared. Something buried alongside the treasure suggested that even this monumental discovery was only the beginning. Oak Island, it seemed, had yet another secret waiting to be revealed. Looking back at the incredible journey of Oak Island, it becomes clear that this story is about far more than gold. Rick Lagina's discovery of $500 million in treasure is extraordinary in itself, but the true lessons lie in the process, the struggle, and the unwavering determination that made it possible. Every step of the journey, from the early setbacks, near misses, and doubts, to the moments of tension when advanced machinery threatened as much as it helped, illustrates the power of patience and resilience. Rick and his team faced impossible odds, navigated treacherous terrain, and endured emotional and financial strain, yet they persisted. Each risk they took was calculated, each decision deliberate, and each failure a lesson that brought them closer to the ultimate reward. The story also highlights the importance of trust, teamwork, and leadership. The unity of the crew was tested repeatedly, especially when disagreements arose over strategy and technology. Rick's ability to balance authority with collaboration ultimately allowed the team to stay focused on the goal. Their collective perseverance reminds us that monumental achievements are rarely the result of individual effort alone. They require shared vision and relentless commitment. And yet, even as the treasure was unearthed, Oak Island proved that mysteries never fully yield to human ambition. Strange clues and hidden elements suggested that the discovery was just one piece of a much larger puzzle. In this way, the story becomes a metaphor. Great rewards often come with great challenges, and the pursuit of the unknown requires courage, adaptability, and respect for forces beyond our control. Ultimately, Rick's journey is a testament to the human spirit, a narrative of hope, resilience, and relentless pursuit of the impossible. His discovery teaches us that success is not just measured by wealth or fame, but by the lessons learned, the bonds strengthened, and the courage to continue, even when the outcome is uncertain. And while these lessons are clear, the deeper mysteries of Oak Island remain, quietly waiting for the next chapter to unfold, a reminder that adventure never truly ends. The story doesn't end with gold. Even after uncovering $500 million in treasure, Oak Island continues to guard its secrets. New clues, hidden chambers, and untapped caches lie beneath the surface, waiting for those daring enough to search. Every discovery opens more questions than answers, and the island proves again and again that its mysteries are far from finished. What will Rick Lagina uncover next? How will the next twist rewrite everything we thought we knew about this legendary hunt? The stakes remain as high as ever. Fortune, history, and human ambition all hang in the balance. For viewers, this is not just a story of treasure. It is an ongoing adventure. Each clue, each breakthrough, each challenge is a reminder that the pursuit of the unknown is never straightforward, and that sometimes the greatest discoveries come when you least expect them. Make sure to subscribe and follow the journey, because the adventure has only just begun. The next discovery could change everything, and it might just shock the world all over again.